Welcome to the righteous sphere. We separate the gray areas over here. We don't do the lying like those other places. No. We don't do no fucking lying over here. You're gonna get the truth.
Outcome is going to be if you hanging around millionaires every day. Now, what you think the outcome is going to be? You hanging around criminals, you hanging around low-level people. And nothing against drug dealers and criminals, because these are some of my friends. If people calling me every day about new scams and new jugs and shit like that, then that's going to be my universe. That's going to be what's in my mind all the time. I don't want to hear that shit no more. I want to hear about legit shit. I want to hear about 7 figures, the legit way, how you got it out the mud. I'm switching my circle up, not changing my friends. I'm just switching the circle that I'm surrounded by. So I don't want to hear that low energy shit. I want to hear high energy, high level, high minded shit.
What do you say to people that say you turned your back on the culture or
exactly
like
100%? I have turned my back on the idea of victimization mentality. We are locked up. We went from 1 and 4. We went from 1 and 4 to 1 and 3, but we always pointing at the white people, but yet we want to spend all of our money on foreigns. We want to spend all our money on luxury as opposed to going and buying some land. America is for sale, and there's a lot of barren land. Disney bought a lot of it in Florida, but the culture has you focused so much on fucking somebody bitch and pulling up in a foreign and rapping about things that could get you locked up and then saying you about prison reform. Like, it's, bro, we brainwashed out here, bro.
Sup, squad, and welcome to the studio. We here today to discuss and continue the foolishness. You know, 50 Cent, he not letting up on this whole Rick Ross, Drake situation, the Toronto beatdown. So 50 Cent, he aligned himself with Drake. So today, guys, we're gonna come and I want y'all to see how people, because of their hate, they'll let their integrity they'll destroy their integrity just because they hate somebody. And that's not always good. Y'all know I rock with 50, New Yorker, no nonsense. But at some point, you gotta mind your business and you gotta stay out of it. And you gotta let the devil get his due. You know what I mean? Let the devil get his due. But this just goes to show 50 Cent not innocent now. He not innocent. But y'all know, a friend of my friend is my enemy type stuff. So if we got a common enemy, you can be my friend. That's all this is. But at what extent do you sacrifice your integrity? Because 50, the man losing a rap battle because of his need for younger women. Now you go and align yourself with this man. What that say about you, 50? What that say about you, Fifth? So let's get on into this. Ultimately, we want to take a look at who had the bigger buzz, 50 or Drake. You know what I mean? 50 or Drake, guys. Who you think had the bigger buzz?
Drake, Kendrick's released 3 diss tracks aimed at you. Which ones hurt your feelings the most?
Euphoria.
He's saying that you've hidden an 11-year-old daughter. Do you have any other kids we don't know about?
I do. 4.
4 kids. Is that a lot of child support?
I would say so, yes.
Kendrick's saying you're not black because you're Canadian. Do you still want to claim being black?
I actually am proud to say that I don't really drop the B word like Like in person.
You've been accused of having a BBL, using Ozempic. Have you ever thought about just hitting the gym?
That's a valid point.
So you did get a nose job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Drake, are you going to address the Predator allegations on the diss track at all?
No.
And that's the part right there, Fifth. Your hatred for Rick Ross can't override that part, man.
Will Evans, you know what it is, bro? Let's talk about it. I told you guys from the beginning of this Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef that 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar are going at it subtly. You know, they have like a Cold War going on. Kendrick Lamar has not been supported by 50 Cent at all during this beef. Every time Kendrick drops a song, 50 Cent downplays it. When he dropped Euphoria, 50 went on his Instagram and said, oh, the song is too long. Then Drake drops an 8-minute song and 50 Cent hypes it up. This whole thing I've been watching and I've been like, even when Kendrick dropped yesterday and he dropped You Not Like Us. When he dropped You Not Like Us, I'm like, okay, that kind of reminds me of 50 Cent, You Not Like Me. You know, if you get shot and run to the cops, you're not like me. The title did, right? So I wanted to hear what he had to say. And 50 Cent actually didn't want to react to Kendrick dropping You Not Like Us or Kendrick dropping Meet the Grounds right after Drake dropped Family Matters. But he did react to Drake.
Now, hold on. We're going to get back to that. But some of you guys might be looking at it like 50 should be riding with Kendrick because 50 is Dre and Kendrick. Y'all got to understand, bro. These people don't be rocking just because they got the same label mates. Don't be meaning they rock out with each other. Y'all so focused on 50. Y'all West Coast brothers need to be worried about Game. Because Game ain't too hyped that y'all all on Kendrick back right now. So if there's anything, Game is a key piece to this battle. If any East Coast dude could win over Game, Kendrick done, son. But let's proceed. But yeah, 50 don't have no more alliance and affiliation with Dr. Dre. 50 do not have to listen to Dr. Dre. So 50 can violate.
Will Evans, you know what it is, bro? Let's talk about it. I told you guys from the beginning of this Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef that 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar are going at it subtly. You know, they have like a Cold War going on. Kendrick Lamar has not been supported by 50 Cent at all during this beef. Every time Kendrick drops a song, 50 Cent downplays it. When he dropped Euphoria, 50 went on his Instagram and said, oh, the song is too long. Then Drake drops an 8-minute song and 50 Cent hypes it up. This whole thing I've been watching and I've been like, even when Kendrick dropped yesterday and he dropped You Not Like Us. When he dropped You Not Like Us, I'm like, okay, that kind of reminds me of 50 Cent, You Not Like Me. You know, if you get shot and run to the cops, you're not like me. The title did, right? So I wanted to hear what he had to say. And 50 Cent actually didn't want to react to Kendrick dropping You Not Like Us or Kendrick dropping Meet the Grounds right after Drake dropped Family Matters. But he did react to Drake when Drake dropped. And if you guys weren't paying attention, go watch the video where where Drake dropped on Family Matters, where he's spinning the G-Unit piece in the beginning of the video. 50 actually posted this on his Instagram. He posted the part where Drake spins the G-Unit piece, and 50's response to that was, I told you niggas leave him alone. Now he's spinning on y'all. Everybody must die. Then 30 minutes later, Kendrick drops Meet the Grounds, and 50 don't respond to it. 50 went on his Instagram recently after all this and said, I'm behind over here. Kendrick done fired twice. I gotta really listen to this ish. Hip hop, we the culture. See, I don't like that, bro. And I hate to say it because I love 50 Cent. Personally, I love 50 Cent. He's posted me on his page. He shared me. He's always showed me love. But I got to keep it a beam, bro. This looks bad to me for 50. And the fans don't disagree with me. All the fans are pretty much saying the same things in his comments. You see people saying you weren't behind when you were D-riding Drake, though. Kendrick did to Drake what you did to Ja Rule. It's over completely. Somebody said 50 is compromised. You know, somebody else said you not that far behind because soon as Drake dropped, you parade that nigga music on your page like you getting paid for it. And the 50 Cent, the G-Unit spinner chain, which is iconic to 50 Cent, being in Drake's video and 50 posting that and not posting Meet the Grounds right after. And I thought it was suspect too, bro. I can't even lie. So to me, it looks like 50 is compromised. 50 wants Drake to win really bad, but Kendrick is smoking Drake, bro. Kendrick is smoking Drake. He told y'all he was going to be smoking on y'all top 5, and it seems like he's fulfilling that promise, bro. But to me, this was disappointing because, you know, I'm a huge 50 fan. I love 50. On a personal level, 50, like I said, has shared me to his page. I've always shown 50 love as a businessman and as an entertainer. You know, he's inspiring. But I'm going to call it straight down the middle, bro. He looked compromised. You know what I mean? So that's all I got for you guys. Urban Legend 11, you know what it is. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, bro. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here.
You got to understand, yeah, 50 looks compromised. Any real person, logical person to see 50, you don't compromise yourself, but you think 50 care? Do you think 50 Cent care? 50 Cent don't care. He don't care because it's a win for him. While all of the USA rappers are scared to get booked in Toronto, 50 gonna get booked in Toronto, guys. 50 gonna be good in Toronto. So this is a business move. G unit.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to take the time out to thank you for making me feel so at home. Thank you. Because some of y'all, kick Rick ass, kick Rick Ross ass, right? So I want to thank you again for making me feel so at home.
I'm thinking about the event that happened over there. Let me tell you something. When the first dude stepped up to Rose, the little short fat one that looked like Bam Bam Bigelow from wrestling, when he stepped up, and then I squat down in his eyes and told him what I said. Basically, boy, if I hit you, I'm going to see everything you ate for the last 2 days. His balls dropped out of his ass. He never said another word. He never did nothing. He was a straight buster. Then the nigga behind him said, I know MMA. And then I got hit with a drink. I'm still convinced ain't no nigga punched me. Somebody said, Rose, the nigga tried to punch you. He hit you. I say, nah. He had to throw a drink because throwing a drink would have been way more disrespectful than screaming, I know MMA. Man.
Stop the cap, bro. Stop the lemon pepper cap, bro. That was lemon pepper zesty, bro. You got punched with your cup in your face. That's what he punched you. He punched the cup and his hand hit your face. And the cup didn't just hit you, boy. The hand hit you too. But honestly, guys, for all of my diehard Kendrick fans, if y'all really want Kendrick to win this beef and win this war, you got to start shutting up his friends. You got to get this nigga Rick Ross quiet. You got the quiet Officer Ricky. He making it bad for y'all, Kendrick guys. Because think about it. 50 wouldn't even be aligning himself with Drake. 50 will leave Drake to die, boy. But Ricky, y'all got the quiet Officer Ricky. Did Kendrick even ask Officer Ricky to talk for him?
Like, I heard you like him young.
Get out the way, man. Move out the way. Move out the way.
Get me out the way, homie. You a lame too. Hey, Drake, you on the phone with an A minor. You dude.
Yo, incredible, boy. Incredible. Rick Ross, man, got to quiet up, man.
Love you, bro.
I love you. I love you. I love you so much, man. I hope y'all stay safe. I hope I can come to your house soon, or you can come to my house soon.
Yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait. No doubt, we love you.
Man, yo. Let's get into some content. $50 out there living in Toronto. He chilling.
For making me feel so at home. Yeah. Because some of y'all, kick Rick ass, kick Rick Ross ass, right? So I want to thank you again for making me feel so at home.
you some front on me. I got your gun, but your fucking you get money. I can get down with you. I'm not the type to get out for DW. I'm the type to get into that with the coke price. Gangsters to bump my shit, them that know me. I grew up around some niggas that's got nothing. I can see my stash, and that got these go read up in these who in battery ass. This one's been nasty, dying some flesh. Jokes me out, your mama picking out your casket, man. I'm on the next level, right thing for that. Bitch pedal to the metal, out of the energy kettle blood. What up, cuz?
And that's how you know Drake and 50 Cent relationship not gonna last too long. It ain't gonna last too long because Rick Ross ain't the only person 50 Cent troll now. So, you know what I mean? You can't be friends with a 50 Cent enemy now and think he really your friend. So Drake, be careful, Drake. This is what I be telling y'all. Y'all become friends with people just because y'all share a common enemy. Don't know the friend you call your friend from a hole in the wall. Just go link yourself up in these relationships and not test these people and not chill and get to learn these people. Go ahead, Drake, be a fool and think 50 your friend.
What up, blood? What up? What up, blood? What up, blood? What up, blood? What up? You don't play that. You don't play that. You don't play that. See you, they will play around. Whoa. Wish that on me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me.
Trump 24. Don't forget, Donald Trump 24. Now, I mean, we vote in 2024 Trump, guys. Yeah, peep how 50 is. 50 been more relevant this week than he ever been in a while now, right? He got Trump coming out to his Many Men song. He all in this drama. 50 doing big things. He, according to social media and according to attention.
Trump motherfucker, I ain't dead. I'm the diamond in the dirt. It ain't been fat. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been cracked. Whenever something special happen every time I'm the king. Something like Ali. Come on! The only nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you go see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. Cause I'm coming to you. Sing along! Many. Go, Shawty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a party like it's your birthday. If you don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday. Party in the club, bottle full of blood. My man got that exit in and taking drugs. I'm in there having sex, I ain't in the making really comfortable. Yeah.
It depends on what your definition of capping is. I just said that Donald Trump came out to many men. That's what I said. You know what I mean? That's all. What happened? What's your definition of capping, bruh?
I don't know what you heard about me. Come on! Put up the shit, get a color out of me. Come on! But I like no person can't see. Then I'm a motherfucker. Vince, right here. Now, one more.
This is how I got rid of bed bugs for less than $40. I was honestly surprised when this worked.
Let's move it right along.
This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap, This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what you fucking get for not checking in. This what Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, brat, brat.
So when y'all in here playing gangster, when y'all playing this tough guy, and y'all get into this music, they got a thing called checking in, guys. Make sure y'all check in. We don't want to get your chain snatched. We don't want to get your ego and self-esteem dashed. All right, guys? Let's look at it again.
This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap, This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap,
Stay out of these neighborhoods playing gangster, guys. Remember, every neighborhood got some gangsters. No matter how gangster you think you are, every neighborhood got some gangsters. So sleep if you want to. That is including Toronto. Yes, Canada got some gangsters, guys. Yeah. They could be hell angels. They could be whatever the hell you want to call them. But you go there slipping. You go there acting like you're the toughest man in the United States of America, and you'll get got. Period.
Man, I'm thinking about the event that happened over there. Let me tell you something. When the first dude stepped up to Rose, the little short fat one that looked like Bam Bam Bigelow from wrestling, when he stepped up, and then I squat down in his eyes and told him what I said. Basically, boy, if I hit you, I'm gonna see everything you ate for the last 2 days. His balls dropped out of his ass. He never said another word. He never did nothing. He was a straight buster. Then the nigga behind him said, I know MMA. And then I got hit with a drink. I'm still convinced ain't no nigga punched me. Somebody said, Rose, the nigga tried to punch you. He hit you. I say, nah. He had to throw a drink, because throwing a drink would have been way more disrespectful than screaming, I know MMA. Man.
I know MMA.
Drake links up with 50 Cent in Canada after...
Yeah, I saw that boy Rick Ross bust through the gate and then try to stop. He tried to get the dead leg after they bust him through the gate to get him clearance. Then he tried to stop like he really, why y'all move me? I want to be right here. I want to fight. Lying. Lying. Look at him. Look at him. Look how they moving this big dude. Yo, if you really wanted drama, you would have been there, bro.
Drake links up with 50 Cent in Canada after watching his father perform.
I told y'all it'd be nepotism. Y'all think Drake got where he got just because he's straight talented, because he's talented, guys? It's nepotism. You not getting in their sport. You not getting in their league unless you got a family member or unless you going inside the modern man spaceship. You going inside the modern man spaceship? I don't think you want to go in there. A couple of y'all do. A couple of y'all do want to go inside that modern man spaceship.
For agreeing to do this interview. I know it's a really tough time for you right now, but we really appreciate your time.
Let's do it.
Now, is Puff, P. Diddy, how do you want me to refer to you?
You can call me Love.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, all the allegations. Are you attracted to men or women?
It depends on my mood, my vibe.
Is it true that you've had sexual relations with Meek Mill?
I can't tell you that.
That's the leader of the modern man spaceship, y'all. You know what I mean? That's your only interest in today's game, unless you got straight nepotism like Drake. You see how his pops was a singer, bro. Think about it. Nas' pops was in the game. All of these guys got ties to parents that were in the game. It's nepotism. So don't lose your money. Don't spend your money. Don't go broke trying to become a rapper, bro.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
That's Drake pops right there, looking like our black drunk uncle, right? And then y'all sitting here want to roast this man, want to use the race card. You know, y'all got me. I'm on y'all team. I'm on y'all side when we talking about how he like little girls and shit. I could roast him on that all day. But when you start talking about the man not black because you blacker than him and his father look like that, I can't rock with you. I can't with you. I can't with you blackens, bro. I can't. That's his dad in the middle right there, bro. Looking like your drunk uncle that be on the cookout grill, be on the grill at the cookout. Stop it. That boy black, bro. He just light skinned and he got all of the girls and young ones too. He got all of them. He got the young ones, the old ones. He got all of them. And y'all don't like that. That's the part. That part. That part.
Well, some call me Wood Cousin Sam, some call me Wood Chopping Ben. Life go my touch with folks, she won't be back again. I'm across the strong. So easy for you, you can't help but say I'm strong. Well, some call me Wood Cousin Sam, some call me Wood Chopping Ben. Life
I'm gonna go with Alicia Keys because we seen how she could snap back after this baby. Ashanti got to do some snap back for me. Ashanti might not ever be the same again. She might not ever be the same again. I don't got the picture with me presently right now, but y'all seen that picture with her cutting that cake. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's all I'm gonna say. Ooh, 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 ooh. Lizzo, Lizzo.
won't be back again. I'm across the strong. Baby, just drive me across your lawn. You can't help but say I saw.
Fifth, right here. One more, one more, one more. One more, one more, one more. Fifth, right here. One more, one more, one more. Fifth, right here. One more, one more, one more.
Now I told y'all what y'all gotta do if y'all want it all to go away. If all y'all diehard Kendrick fans, if y'all want this joint to go away and end, just shut Rick Ross up, bro. Keep that nigga quiet, bro. He making it bad for y'all. He making it bad for y'all victims, yo, to skate off with that man Kendrick Lamar victory. Cause Drake might be reloading, he might be launching up right now. But again, guys, this again, let's go into some real shit. This is why 50 and Drake ain't really friends, bro. They friends right now because of Rick Ross, but they ain't really friends, bro. Remember in the beginning, I asked y'all who you think had who had the bigger splash, who had the bigger buzz. Now I think 50 had the bigger buzz. I think 50 had the harder buzz. You know what I mean? Definitely had the harder buzz, but I think Drake had the longer buzz. Drake found a way to extend his buzz, and 50 didn't do that. In my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get it.
There's a lot of talk about that kid Drake right now. And one thing that I heard, and I want to know if you heard the same thing, is he got a 50 Cent buzz.
Angel Ho, you asked me a question, right? And I said I'ma pick Alicia Keys. I'ma pick Alicia Keys. You know what I mean? If you ask somebody a question, you can't then get mad at what the hell we said. That's what I said. I said what I said. That's what I asked. If you think Ashanti is prettier than Alicia Keys, then okay, cool. That's how you feel. That's all right, bro. You're all right. You know what I mean? Ashanti is not gonna be prettier than Alicia Keys to me, ever. And especially now that she's pregnant and looking like a whale, bro. She's not gonna lose all that weight. She's going to be big, bro. She's gonna be a big back. She's gonna be a big back Keisha.
but you're projected that whenever you sign with whoever you sign, that you might break the Thriller record, yo. How does you're the Thriller man in hip hop, man? How does that feel, man? To know that A, a lot of these record labels want you, B, that you have an incredible buzz.
He got a good buzz, I hear him, but shit, it wasn't possible for my music to be on the radio when I was coming. You know, mine was completely organic. Like, when you hear a song on the radio, it means it's being worked. Ain't nothing there by just because.
Buzz so big, I could probably sell a blank this. Drake, that kid is just amazing. Of course, he don't even have an album out. He's like, he on everybody features song. Every song he drop is #1, and I mean, he's a cash cow. I love it.
You know, people talk about now in the internet age, like, oh, so-and-so has buzz and whatever. None of that comes even close to what 50 had behind him at that moment.
What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and it's time for a brand new series once again. As you can tell by the video title, this series is going to be called Who Was Bigger? And since this is the first episode, of course, I'm going to have to explain this series, how we're going to break it down, and what this series is exactly about. I got this idea by being on Twitter. I'm active on Twitter a lot, and I was getting into discussions about who's a bigger artist during their primes, who's having a bigger impact in hip-hop culture, and who's having a longer run in their careers. And from those discussions, I looked around and realized there is no video series comparing two artists against each other with straight facts, no opinions. If you're a true hip-hop head, you know throughout your life, you're going to get into heated discussions about which artist is bigger, who sold more, who had a bigger impact, whether it's in the barbershop or just hanging out with your friends. So finally, there's a video series online that you can point to when having discussions with your friends about who's the bigger artist. And we're going to kick off episode 1 in a major way with 50 Cent versus Drake. This has been discussed since Drake really blew up. His buzz has been compared to 50's. He's been compared to 50's career throughout his whole career, and it's been crazy, the discussions that's been had between these two artists. I've been thinking for a long time how to break this video down, and I decided to break it down into 4 factors. The first factor is debut impact. When the artist first came out with their debut album, how hot was it? How big did he impact the industry?
Again, salute to the guy that created the content. Diverse mentalities. Y'all go check him out. Much appreciation. We're going to react to this, guys. Salute. So he going with debut as one of the impacts. Man, now, that's hard right there. 50 debut was, we know he was in a battle with Ja Rule and Irv Gotti and oh man, and Drake, you know what I mean? He was with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was hot.
Industry. Was the whole industry paying attention to this artist when they released their debut album? Did it change the way music sounded? Did it influence other artists to copy their sound? If the artist had buzz, did the artist live up to that buzz with their debut album? And what were the sales of the debut album? Did it break records or did it flop? The second factor is brand. How did they use their name to brand themselves to the point where they could change the music industry, to the point where they could do amazing business deals? Did their name attract people to listen to the features that they did with other artists? And how far did they take their brand? Was it just music, or did they expand to various other things? The third factor is cultural impact. When this artist came out after their debut album, did they influence other artists to follow their sound? Did other artists start dressing like them, talking like them? Did future generations look up to this artist and influence them to be in the music industry today? Will their music resonate years from now, even 20, 30?
Drake losing that right there. Drake lose that category automatically if you compare the cultural impact. You heard what Kendrick said, right? if Kendrick's speaking for the culture when it going towards Drake, then Kendrick right. So Drake ain't got no, he lost that.
30, 40 years from now? And did this artist take away shine from other artists at the time when they were blowing up and in their prime? The final factor is longevity. After this artist came out with their debut album, how long did they remain on top? Was it short-lived or did it last a really long time? What were their
Now Drake might have that. He might have that one. He might have that one.
sales on their albums after their first album? Did it increase? Did it decline? Did it stay steady throughout the years? And if they're not on top anymore, what was the reason? Was it the content in the music? Was the content always the same? Did it change? Or did people just get sick and tired of hearing the same artist being on top over and over again? Now that the 4 factors have been explained, let's finally get into the video. And of course, I'm going to set the stage of the year that we were in when these albums came out and how different it was between the newer artists and the older artists. And with that being said, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and let's get into the first factor, which is debut impact. When discussing the debut impact, the first thing we have to look at is sales of their debut album, the first week sales in particular. In today's music industry, we would be comparing pure sales, which is physical album sales, versus streaming. But in this case, we don't have to, because when 50 Cent and Drake dropped their albums, streaming wasn't introduced into the music industry yet. In order to compare these two artists fairly, we have to look at the music industry climate when they did release their albums. 50 Cent released his album February 6th, 2003. Drake released his album on June 15th, 2010. Obviously, the music industry changed within those 7 years. When 50 Cent released his debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, in February 2003, the music industry was facing some sort of bootlegging and illegal MP3 downloading. At that time,
That's a fact. LimeWire was killing them. LimeWire was going ham, y'all. How many of y'all remember LimeWire? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember LimeWire.
Early 2000, LimeWire launched, which was an illegal service to download music for free. And in 1999, Napster as well launched, and there you could download illegal MP3 files as well. The record labels were getting worried about this, but Steve Jobs ended up inventing the iTunes Store and launched it on April 28th, 2003. But of course, this was after 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, so he had no digital sales when this album came out. And even though the internet was in its infant stages in the early 2000s, there was still a bunch of illegal downloading. And of course, that affected 50 Cent's album release, because the album was released 7 days prior to its initial release. The album was scheduled on February 11, 2003 to be released, but it got pushed up due to leakage and was instead released on February 6, 2003. But despite that leakage, the album still delivered well over anyone's expectations and ended up selling over 872,000 copies within its first week, which was never seen in the music industry ever for a debut artist. It even sold an equivalent amount the second week, not having a single drop off, which was never seen in the music industry once again. So the album, of course, more than delivered for 50 Cent's buzz. The expectations were there and he delivered. The album even got reviewed as one of the best albums ever released that year. And in today's time, it's even considered a hip hop classic. And an artist like 50 Cent never really came into the music industry because he was the first to build his buzz straight off of mixtapes. They had never seen an artist come in without releasing their debut album and having an insane buzz like 50 Cent did. 50 Cent just used the bootleggers to his advantage and decided to jump on mixtapes, redo people's hooks, change them into song formats, and build his buzz that way. And then when he released Wanksta, of course, the buzz for the album came. All eyes were on 50 Cent after he released his album and before he released his album, because people were anticipating that his buzz wouldn't translate to album sales, and it ultimately did. Jay-Z even said that he had warned his artists on Rockefeller to release a bunch of music before 50 Cent dropped his album, because after he releases his album, he would demand the attention of all of hip-hop's audience.
I remember one time walking in the studio and it was like a small gap, and Bleak Beans. Everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now. Just flood it, put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming. And you know, 4 months later, in the club hit, and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
On top of that, artists that never really rapped about gangsta music or the gangsta image started going that route because they saw it was selling based off of what 50 Cent had did. In conclusion, 50 Cent's debut impact was something that nobody had ever seen before. His album Get Rich or Die Trying not only broke debut first week sales, but also went on to sell well over 12 million copies worldwide and 8.4 million copies just in the United States alone, which makes it a top 4 hip-hop album when it comes to sales in the US. The album also had 2 #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100 with In the Club and 21 Questions, and In the Club in March 2003 broke a Billboard record as the most listened to song in radio history within a week. On top of that, the third single, PIMP, peaked at #3 on the Billboard Hot 100. So he had 3 singles that were in the top 3 for the Hot 100 off this album. Now let's set the stage of when Drake dropped his debut album, Thank Me Later, on June 15th, 2010. In 2010, the music industry was obviously in a way different place than in 2003. At this point in 2010, a lot of music sales had declined, but a lot of file sharing sites that were major in the early 2000s had shut down, such as LimeWire and Napster. But that didn't stop the internet from stealing music and leaking it online, because this was the era of people creating blogs. A lot of people started creating blogs and posting this music online for people to download, including me at that time. I created a blog in 2009, so I fell into that category. I uploaded music to Hulkshare, Mediafile, ZippyShare, and various other sources, and a lot of other blogs did the same, and this caused music to get illegally downloaded once again. Plus, albums would ship out worldwide weeks earlier to the release date, and then people would get the album and leak it online. And this, unfortunately, is what happened to Drake's debut album, Thank Me Later. The album ended up leaking 2 weeks prior to its release date. It leaked on June 1st, 2010, but only the clean version made it online, but it made it all over the blogs, so everyone heard the album. Even Drake tweeted on Twitter, "I gave away free music for years, so we're good over here. Just allow it to be the soundtrack to your summer and enjoy June 15th. However, despite the leakage, Drake's buzz was so huge and tremendous that he still did very well on this album. His buzz was being compared to 50 Cent's over and over again. Drake created his buzz just like 50 Cent did with mixtapes, and a lot of artists that followed 50 Cent after did the same thing as well. Drake had dropped his mixtape So Far Gone, and it ended up blowing up. The breakthrough hit on that mixtape was called Best I Ever Had, and it ended up peaking at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Mind you, this is a mixtape single. This is not even off of an album. So he was blowing up in the mainstream light, somewhat different to what 50 Cent had. 50 Cent had street buzz. His music was more catered to the streets, while Drake was more catered to the mainstream audience and pop sound. Drake also delivered something to the hip hop world that we weren't familiar with, and that was singing and rapping into one. He could sing very well and rap very well, and combine them.
Now I gotta stop you right there. I think that Drake incorporated 50 Cent style, and 50 Cent incorporated some of Ja Rule's style. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. 50 Cent was singing on them songs. He was singing on them hooks. Drake just started using it in the verses. He just said, you know what? Not only am I gonna sing a hook, I'm gonna sing it on the verse. But come on now, Ja Rule was doing this. Let's stop acting like Ja Rule wasn't doing this. It's called melodizing. They was melodizing, not even really singing, riffing more.
Them flawlessly. A lot of artists tinkered with this here and there, like Ja Rule and Chamillionaire, but Drake took it to the next level, and a lot of people appreciated it. And because we haven't seen this in hip-hop done so well, Drake's buzz was huge when he dropped that So Far Gone mixtape. Like I said, he had a #2 single on the Billboard Hot 100 and was buzzing so big that he kept getting compared to 50 Cent's buzz. People were also expecting Drake to sell well over 1 million copies within the first week of his debut album dropping, which would be Thank Me Later. Unfortunately, it did not live up to that buzz expectation of selling 1 million copies within the first week. Universal, however, expected it because they shipped out well over 1 million copies in the first week of its release. So they were expecting those sales, but it didn't live up to that. And that has a lot to do with the music climate of when he released his album. However, the first week sales of this album were amazing. He sold 447,000 copies within the first week on June 15th, 2010. And ultimately ended up selling 2 million copies in the United States that following year. And the first 3 singles off of Drake's debut album didn't perform that well. The first single being Over and ended up peaking at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. The second single, Find Your Love, ended up peaking at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. And the third single, Miss Me, ended up peaking at number 15. So obviously this is very low numbers compared to 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. And this album among fans and critics isn't considered one of Drake's best albums, and it's not considered a classic among the hip-hop community. However, this album did impact how the music industry sounded, because once people saw the success that Drake had with rapping and singing, a lot of people started doing it as well. A great example is Chris Brown. He never used to rap, but he started rapping and singing once he saw Drake have that success, as well as other artists. In conclusion of Drake's debut impact, he did not live up to the buzz that a lot of people were expecting, but he did have an impact in the music industry by changing its sound. Drake would later on live up to that buzz as his career went on with future albums and sales. The second factor is brand. Let's talk about how Drake and 50 Cent took their names to the next level. After Drake dropped his debut album, Thank Me Later, he followed Lil Wayne's blueprint. The person who signed him taught him to keep doing features just like he did to keep his name relevant, and it definitely worked out for him. During that time, Drake was all over the place. He was featured on various tracks. He worked with The Game, Fetty Wap, Future, J. Cole, Jay-Z, Jamie Foxx, Lil Wayne, of course, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Meek Mill, Migos, Nicki Minaj, Nipsey Hussle, Pimp C, Rick Ross, Rihanna, Timbaland, Trey Songz, Waka Flocka, YG, and many, many more. And this definitely took Drake's name to the next level. His brand expanded because deals were starting to come through, and every song he was featured on either became a top 100 hit, and people were looking at that song, looking for the feature and looking to listen to it if it featured Drake. So Drake's name definitely attracts people, and whatever his name is attached to definitely has eyes on it. When it comes to songs, it becomes a hit. When it comes to brand deals, it sells a lot, even still to this day. In 2009, Drake landed a deal with Sprite. As you guys saw the Sprite commercial, and it was, according to Forbes, a very lucrative deal where he made a lot of money. Following that, when Drake dropped his sophomore album, Take Care, it did extremely well. It sold 631,000 copies within the first week, which is nearly 200,000 more than his debut album in the first week. And it ended up going 4 times platinum worldwide, which means it sold 4 million copies, which is a little over 2 million more copies than his debut album. And this is when he won his first Grammy. And to many Drake fans, this album is considered Drake's classic album. And because of that major success, he was finally granted a label deal to have his own label. In 2012, he expanded the OVO sound into signing a $10 million deal with Warner Brothers. And through this deal, he ended up signing various other artists to build the OVO sound brand and label. He ended up signing Party Next Door, Majid Jordan, Roy Woods, I Love McConan, and many others. However, none of these artists really blew up on their own and had their own image, such as Lil Wayne. When he signed Drake, Drake really took off and had his own sound, his own label, his own image. All the artists on Drake's label haven't really blown up or had any hits. The only one that had a major hit was I Love McConan with the song Tuesday that featured Drake, that was released in 2014. The song ended up peaking at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. Other than that, any other artists on Drake's label did not have any major success. Party Next Door had a song peak at number 55 on the Billboard Hot 100, with Come and See Me, which featured Drake. So that Drake stimulus package kind of helped with that feature, but it definitely didn't get him a top 40 hit. The only person who had a top 40 hit was I Love McConan, and he essentially left the label in 2016. Majid Jordan don't have any single song on the Hot 100. The only song they had on the Hot 100 was the Drake song Hold On, We're Going Home, which featured them, but that's not even their solo song. Although the deal with Warner Brothers was lucrative and Drake made $10 million off that deal, it shows that most of the star power is in Drake's hands, and whatever Drake does, people pay attention to, and not the things that his artists do. However, Drake continued to expand his brand. In 2013, he signed a $10 million deal with Jordan, and he released and designed 3 sneakers on the market with that deal. So that was definitely another lucrative deal. And while doing that Jordan deal, he decided to release his own clothing line with OVO Clothing, and even opened up a few stores, one in Los Angeles, one in New York, one in Toronto, one in Yorkdale, and one in London. He followed that up in 2016, which is his most recent deal with Apple Music. He ended up signing for $19 million to Apple Music to release his album Views exclusively to Apple Music. Following that brand deal, he also released his own whiskey by the name of Virginia Black in 2017. And moving forward, Drake is looking to executive produce a few movies and TV shows in the near future. And as of March 2018, Drake's net worth is standing at $100 million. So it seems like he's been definitely building up his brand and his money as time goes on. So in the future, I can only expect him to become a billionaire if he continues on this path. But with that success, there were some things in Drake's career that took a hit when it comes to his brand. The beef that he had with Meek Mill, where Meek Mill exposed Drake having ghostwriters, definitely affected Drake's brand. A lot of people don't associate him as one of the best hip-hop artists now because of that. And as of the making of this video, Drake still hasn't responded to Pusha T's diss called The Story of Adidon, and this definitely affects Drake's brand. It shows that he can't go toe-to-toe with some of the best lyrical rappers. Although Drake will still be on top and sell a lot of albums continuing in the future because he's still accepted very well in the mainstream world, this only affects him in hip-hop culture. Now let's talk about how 50 Cent expanded his brand and what he did in his music career. 50 Cent's approach to expanding his brand was very different from Drake's. Drake would work with a lot of artists, do a lot of features, while 50 Cent would stay in his camp, only work with people in Shady Aftermath and G-Unit. Matter of fact, before 2007, the only features 50 Cent had with artists that were outside of his camp was Lil' Kim and Missy Elliott. 50's tactic was to instead help his own artists under his label and help his teammates such as Eminem and Dr. Dre. That's why he only did features with people that were connected with him in terms of the label. After the massive success of his debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, he instantly got offered a label deal to sign with Shady Aftermath under his own imprint, which was G-Unit Records. And unlike Drake, 50 Cent decided to expand his brand by making G-Unit Records a household name. He didn't waste any time. He released their debut album, Beg for Mercy, in November 2003, and within the first week, it sold 400,000 copies. And because of that success of their debut group album, all the other artists on 50 Cent's label ended up having solo success as well. Lloyd Banks' debut album, Hunger for More, ended up selling over 3 million copies worldwide, ended up having 2 top 40 Billboard Hot 100 hits, with On Fire peaking at number 8 and Karma peaking at number 17. Young Buck even had his own success with his debut album Straight Outta Cashville, selling well over 2.5 million copies worldwide, and he even had 2 top 40 Hot 100 songs, with Shorty Wanna Ride peaking at number 17 and Let Me In peaking at number 3. And 50 Cent's biggest success of the artist that he signed on G-Unit Records was obviously The Game. His debut album, The Documentary, sold well over 5 million copies worldwide and had 3 songs on the top 40 Hot 100, with Hater or Love It peaking at number 2, How We Do peaking at number 4, and Dreams peaking at number 32. So it was clear 50 Cent had put on his artists and focused on building his artists up instead of doing features for other artists like Drake. 50 didn't stop there in expanding his brand. In 2003, he also landed a deal with Mark Echo to start G-Unit Clothing and landed a deal with Reebok to start the G-Unit sneakers. And both those deals were very lucrative for 50 Cent. 50 Cent himself said that off the G-Unit sneakers and the Reebok deal that he had, he made $80 million. And off the G-Unit clothing, they made well over $100 million, but 50 Cent ended up pocketing somewhere between 20 to 15 million.
Well, I seen a really nice check from Paul Feynman. Now, who is this? Paul Feynman was like running RBK, running Reebok at the time. So when we actually started selling shoes with the G-Unit shoe and the Sean Carter shoe, and we worked like that project was a huge success for me. I sold over 3.8 million pairs of sneakers, and then after I got over my entire time with RBK, I got about $80 million.
And in 2005, after dropping his sophomore album, The Massacre, and selling 1.14 million copies within the first 4 days and selling well over 10 million copies worldwide, the name 50 Cent got way bigger and the brand got way bigger. He started doing more and more deals. He even ended up getting his own video game called 50 Cent Bulletproof, which sold 1.3 million copies worldwide. He also did a deal with Vitamin Water in which he owned equity in the company. And in 2007, he made well over $150 million. It was reported that he actually made $400 million, but according to Forbes, they couldn't release the official information because of non-disclosure agreements. He also was featured in his own feature film with Get Rich or Die Trying. Although it didn't succeed that well, it was still a major good look for his brand.
Now that vitamin water was everything for 50. That vitamin water deal was it. That was it.
However, with all the major success 50 Cent has had, there has been a lot of major failures. And to be fair, 50 Cent's career has been going on longer than Drake, so that gives him a lot more room to have more failures. So let's talk about those failures and how it affected 50 Cent's brand. One of the major failures was that 50 Cent launched a second label called G-Note Records, which was more of a softer side of G-Unit, R&B side, and that label failed. I mean, all the artists failed on there. I can't even remember some of the artists signed on that label because it was that bad. He also lost to Kanye West in 2007, so I feel like that affected his brand a lot. A lot of the things after that he was associated with didn't really succeed. Like in 2009, he launched his own cologne called Powered by 50. That failed as well. In 2011, he launched SMS Audio, which was a headphone company that was doing well in the beginning and was supposed to be a competitor to Beats by Dre, but that failed as well as time went on due to the bankruptcy lawsuit that he had going on. He also launched SK Energy. I don't even know what happened to that, honestly. It was doing well, and then all of a sudden 50 stopped working with it and promoting it. He also had something called SMS Boxing, which was a boxing venture that he wanted to start initially with Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather, after he got out of prison, didn't want to work with 50, so 50 launched it on his own, and that ended up failing as well. And in 2015, as we all know, 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy, and that was a very bad look for his brand, his image, and we knew 50 Cent wasn't actually broke. He was just trying to escape the lawsuits from Rick Ross's baby mama and the SMS Audio lawsuit from his former company, which was Sleek Audio. We know he was trying to escape that, but it was still a bad look for his brand because in the mainstream world, a lot of people still assume 50 Cent is broke. But in the midst of all that failure, he still managed to pull through and ended up creating a very successful TV show by the name of Power, which is constantly breaking records on Stars and on premium cable. He also signed a deal with an underwear company called Frigo, in which he made reportedly $78 million. And the deal he had with Effin' Vodka, he sold his shares in that and made $60 million, which was reported in summer.
And this Effin' Vodka deal was one of the ones that actually worked out for him. But when you talk about 50 failures, a lot of 50 failures was his stubborn ignorance, trying to compete with somebody because he didn't like them. You know what I mean? And he let his emotions make him lose money. A lot of the deals he did was to be competitive to somebody else. So he was the opposite of that. He did the opposite of what they were doing. And it wasn't always the brightest idea to do, but his ego and his competitive nature had him have all those failures right there. But this was one that would have been a failure, that he competed against somebody, but this turned out to be a win. Because he wanted to take out that Ciroc shit, that P. Diddy Ciroc with the effing rocker.
Of 2017. So in terms of brand, Drake and 50 Cent both have had their ups and downs. And of course, 50 Cent's career has been longer, so there's more to look at. But we don't know what Drake's future holds in terms of the brand, but we definitely know he's headed in the right direction so far. Now let's talk about the third factor, cultural impact. And Drake had a lot of cultural impact and a lot of influence in the industry after he released his debut album. One of the perfect examples for me is Chris Brown, because before Drake blew up, Chris Brown was more of an R&B singer. Then after Drake blew up, Chris Brown started rapping and singing, which was something he obviously took from Drake because he saw it was working with Drake. So why not try it? Another example of an offspring of what Drake has done is Bryson Tiller, Post Malone, so many artists that you can name that rap and sing. Plus, Drake has put Canada on the map in terms of hip hop. A lot of artists have blown up since Drake, and it's because of Drake, because more attention has gone to Canada in terms of hip hop. Artists such as The Weeknd and Tory Lanez, just to name a few. And whenever Drake does something, it's usually a meme. It becomes something that everyone talks about or makes fun of in a joking way, which is definitely some sort of influence in the culture. He dictates a lot of what happens during that time. And he's been memed literally since he started his career, which means he's been the topic of conversation. Every time he gears up to drop an album, there's a new meme out there about him. Or when he just does something goofy, or when people make it seem like it's goofy, it's always memed over and over again. And whatever Drake says, everyone pays attention to, which definitely takes shine away from the other artists. Whenever Drake is gearing up to release something, a lot of the attention goes towards Drake. And there's no denying that since he's had a major impact in hip hop, his music is going to resonate years after he retires or when he dies. After that, people are still going to bump his music. And the perfect example of that is Take Care. When that album first came out, a lot of people were bumping it. And now in 2018, I still hear that album over and over. A lot of places, a lot of my friends still listen to it. So it's definitely an album that's going to stay here for a long time. And it's only been roughly 10 years since Drake has come into the music scene. So there's still a lot that he can influence. I'm sure when a lot of newer artists come out, they're going to say Drake is his favorite artist and Drake was the one that they were listening to when they were a child. So there's still time for that. In terms of 50 Cent, he's had a longer career. So there's going to be a lot more artists that are coming out that are saying, hey, I used to listen to 50 Cent when I was really young in 2003 when he came out with Get Rich or Die Trying. And in terms of social media, Drake definitely takes the cake. Every time he releases something, the whole world in social media stops completely. I've seen this on Twitter.
Now that I gotta disagree with you again. 50 Cent is running. 50 Cent is allowed to do what he do. Not too many people can do what 50 Cent is gonna do on social media. 50 Cent run the troll game. 50 Cent run the meme game. Nah, I'm not hearing it. Drake got a different type of audience. You know what I mean?
So many times, whenever Drake drops a new song or a new album or anything of the sort, or even does anything, social media just reacts to it immediately, which definitely shows that Drake has a chokehold on the game and has been having a chokehold on it.
Bro, how you think 50 had been how you think 50 had been relevant without being able to drop a hit song for now? From the time he was dropping songs to now. Why do you think we even care about Power? How did Power, a TV show, get so big, bro? Cause his social media presence. Drake's social media presence not fucking with 50 Cent's social media presence. No way, no how. Think about it.
For a while now. Now let's talk about 50 Cent's cultural impact. And there's a lot of things that you can point to inside of music and outside of music. In terms of music, 50 Cent has had an insane amount of influence when it comes to a lot of the gangster rappers that have come out now. Schoolboy Q himself has said that when he listened to Get Rich or Die Trying,
Schoolboy Q is the mole. He's the rat. Y'all know that, right? He is the rat. He is the one that's playing both sides. He's friends with with J. Cole and he friend with Kendrick. You know what I mean? But J. Cole and Drake is cool. And there you go. That boy, Schoolboy Q, he also sent Drake a little message because he got one of his shows canceled out in Canada. So now he's threatening that when Drake come to the States and look to do something in Cali, it's gonna be up for him. But Schoolboy Q is another one. If y'all want this battle to be over, tell the outside ones to shut the hell up.
It changed his life and made him want to rap instead of do a bunch of gangster stuff that could have led him either to prison or death. There's been artists like Chief Keef who have said the same thing. Artists like Smoke Perp and 6ix9ine who have said that they look up to 50 Cent. And when they heard Get Rich or Die Trying, it influenced them to get into music as well.
I relate to 50 hella for sure. Like, I could listen to 50 Cent and tell what he really mean what he's saying. He did that hard. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of them niggas that got away with confidence. Like 50 ain't got the best bars, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't got Jay-Z bars, but this nigga, like, his confidence on the record is like, you can't deny it. Like, he was saying that any nigga that's just now getting out of jail, you don't know what to do with yourself, get into the rap game. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, recently when I just got out of jail and I didn't know what to do, I wasn't trying to go finish playing football and shit. And I was like, you know, if I'm gonna really go hard with this rap. And that's when I was just fucking around with rapping. I really wasn't rapping, but just fucking around with it. But when I heard that, I was like, fuck it. And I really went hard. Yeah. 50 probably saved my life on some real shit.
And those are just a few examples of artists that were influenced by 50 Cent. 50 Cent also changed the music industry when he came out with his music. And I mentioned this in my video, how 50 Cent forever changed the music industry. If you want a more detailed explanation, go ahead and check that video out. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to go briefly through it. And one of the first things he did was use mixtapes to promote his career. Nowadays, a lot of artists are doing that, but 50 Cent was the first one to do that. He used mixtapes to build a buzz, and then when he dropped his debut album, it sold insanely. And of course, Drake followed that format, as we all know. So this definitely changed hip-hop culture and had a huge cultural impact. Another thing he did was invest in vitamin water. Instead of getting upfront money, he got equity, and this influenced a lot of other artists to do the same. So it definitely impacted the culture majorly because of that. And because of that vitamin water deal and how much money 50 Cent made, it forced labels to create a new contract called the 360 deal, where labels will get money out of everything that an artist did outside of the music, such as a clothing line or an equity investment such as vitamin water, because they saw how much money 50 made off of vitamin water and the label didn't get a single dime. So they made the 360 deal. And because of that, that forever changed the culture as well. In terms of years resonating when it comes to 50's music, there's no doubt that years from now, and it's even been proven so far, that 50's music will stand the test of time. The perfect example is, of course, Get Rich or Die Trying. By many hip-hop enthusiasts, that album is considered a classic. And
yeah, y'all see this summer jam with the pouring down rain? We was here in New Jersey for this summer jam, y'all. Yeah, we was. Yes, we was. Pouring down rain and 50 Cent debut at the summer jam.
just the songs in the club and 21 Questions to this day still ring off and people listen to them daily. Plus, 50 Cent's story is something that we will never see again, I think, ever in humanity. Someone who came from poverty, went up against people that wanted to murder him, got shot 9 times, and became the biggest rap star in the world at a certain point. That's a very, very rare story that we probably won't ever see again. So that story alone will make him resonate forever, not to mention the music to go with that story. And when 50 first came out, he definitely took shine away from other artists in the culture. Jay-Z, back when he was on Breakfast Club a few years ago, himself said that he warned his own artists that they should flood the market with music before 50 Cent drops his debut album, because after he drops his debut album, the attention will be all on 50 and nobody will care about anything else anybody else releases. Plus, he made Jay-Z himself retire that year. After 50 dropped his debut album, Jay-Z dropped the Black Album later that year in 2003 and announced that he retired. And I believe the reason for that was because the attention was so much on 50 Cent that even if Jay-Z dropped an album the next year, a lot of people wouldn't really pay attention to it as much as 50's. And I want to make it clear that this statement is not a fact. It's just my opinion based off of what Jay-Z said and the timing of Jay-Z's supposed retirement in 2003. Now let's talk about the last factor, which is longevity. And I'm going to start it off with 50 Cent. Now, this one's going to be a little bit of opinion and a little bit of fact. A lot of people will have differences on when certain artists' career declined and when they were on top, how long they were on top. But based off my research, based off of arguments I've had with people, this is essentially what I've come together with. And of course, feel free to disagree. This is a little bit of fact, a little bit of opinion. I would say 50 Cent's run was from 2002 to 2007. That's when he was at his hottest, at his peak. Whatever he dropped charted very well. And this is based off the research of album sales and singles and where they charted.
Now, what y'all think? Do y'all think that's accurate? Do y'all think that's accurate, guys?
The most important one to look at is definitely singles. That will tell you more about if an artist is hot or not, and not album sales, because album sales declined for every single artist as the years went on. So after his debut album, 50 Cent in 2005 dropped his second album, The Massacre, and sold 1.15 million copies within the first week. Then in 2007, he followed that up with Curtis and sold 691,000 copies within the first week, which is a major drop from his second album. But like I said, album sales have declined for almost every single artist that you can name. Then after 2007, and this is where I say he stopped becoming hot, is after 2007. In 2009, he dropped Before I Self-Destruct and sold about 160,000 copies within the first week. But this is the thing that you have to notice that changed after 2007. After 2007, 50 Cent as a solo artist and as the lead artist on a single could not get a top 10 hit at all after 2007. The highest charting song after 2007 that he had was My Life, featuring Eminem and Adam Levine, which peaked at number 27 in 2012 on the Hot 100. That's the highest charting single after 2007 that he could get. And that's really a top 40 hit, but usually a top 10 is what's considered a major hit for an artist and what's considered a comeback or at least a hot artist. And this is just focusing on 50 Cent musically. If we're talking throughout his whole career, not just musically, he definitely is still relevant. I mean, he has Power, which is one of the most successful TV shows, like I mentioned earlier. He's done major deals with Effin' Vodka, which he sold his equity for $60 million. He's done major deals with that underwear company, which he got like $74 million, I believe. So he's definitely still relevant. Whenever he says or does something, it's always on the news. So career-wise, outside of music, he's definitely still relevant. But for this one, we're talking about musically. I say he's been hot from 2002 till 2007, and that's based off the charting positions of singles and album sales. And why he's not on top anymore, I believe, is because people really got tired of 50 Cent after 2007. Once Kanye beat him, people did not want that gangsta sound anymore. They didn't want a tough guy. They just wanted somebody who can be themselves and be something completely different. Plus, to a lot of people, 50 Cent's music was getting repetitive. It was the same talk about guns. He had a lead single that was about a female, and then he would put out singles just talking about guns and money. So a lot of people got over that and were like, we're tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. Now that 50's switched his sound a little bit more, he's been having a little bit more success in music, such as I'm the Man, which was released in 2015, in which he got a platinum plaque off that single with streams added, of course. So that's definitely a good look musically. I believe he can get back on top, but definitely he's had a 6-year run from 2002 to 2007. That was when he was his hottest musically. Now let's talk about Drake's longevity, and this is something hip-hop hasn't seen in a while. Drake has been hot since Best I Ever Had blew up, which was in 2009 with the So Far Gone mixtape. So from 2009 till now, 2018, Drake has been on top and been hot and relevant. And this can be backed up with the sales numbers when it comes to albums and charting positions when it comes to singles. But you have to remember Drake's numbers are kind of weird because when he first came out, he didn't have streaming. And now in 2018, he does have streaming, and streaming has helped Drake a lot recently. If we look at album sales after his debut album, you'll notice Drake has been very consistent when it comes to selling albums. Take Care, his second album, sold 631,000 copies in 2012, the first week. And then in 2013, he released Nothing Was the Same, and within the first week, sold another 658,000 copies. Then in 2016, he dropped his fourth album, Views, which sold 852,000 copies. And this was pure album sales, which means actual album sales. If you add streaming to that, he sold 1 million copies within the first week. So as time went on, Drake has increased in album sales and has been very steady with it. And if you look at singles, he's been getting number ones on the Hot 100, a lot more because of streams. And before streams, Drake never had a number one on the Billboard Hot 100 as a solo artist. He did have one with Rihanna when he did a collab with her, but I'm talking solo and not collabs. So after streams is when he really started to get number one songs on the Hot 100. But every year when he released an album, he did have a single go top 10 on the Hot 100. In 2009, when he really blew up, but Best I Never Had peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then in 2010, when he dropped his debut album, Thank Me Later, Find Your Love peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then in 2012, when he dropped his second album, Take Care, the title song featuring Rihanna peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then when Drake dropped Nothing Was the Same, started from the bottom, peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100. Then when Drake dropped Views, he got his first number 1 hit, and this was because of streams, which helped a lot, and that was One Dance. It peaked at number 1 in 2016. Hotline Bling peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, so he started to get various hits after streams were implemented in the charts. And now in 2018, it seems like he's hot as ever because nearly every single he's dropping is peaking at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song God's Plan peaked at number 1. Nice for What peaked at number 1. And he broke records, having 2 back-to-back number 1s, as well as another song in the top 5. So he kept breaking records. And there is one record that Drake has that's very, very hard to beat. I think he's going to hold this forever. And that was the most consecutive weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. He had 431 weeks. And if you look at that time in years, that means from May 23rd, 2009 till August 15th, 2017, he's been on the Hot 100 somewhere on the charts, which is insane. So Drake's longevity is definitely something we haven't seen in hip hop in a very long time, or possibly ever. And I feel he's still going to have longevity as the years go on. And that's it for the first episode ever of Who Was Bigger, 50 Cent versus Drake. I'm going to let, for the first time, you guys decide who won this. Like I said, this
Man, very well put together video. Again, salute to Diverse Mentalities. Y'all go check them out for that. Putting together a great piece. But remember, guys, 50 will use you because of his enemies. So if you are enemy of his enemy, you could be his friend. But that don't mean you his friend. That don't mean you his friend. Guys, don't sacrifice your integrity. You know what I mean? Don't sacrifice your integrity. It's better off to just stay neutral, pour into you, and just do you. Worry about you. But don't ever sacrifice your integrity to line yourself alongside some foolishness. We know Drake going down, boy. That boy going down. And we know that it's just a matter of time before 50 Cent gonna need, P. Diddy gonna need Drake help. And once Drake go that direction, we already know 50 Cent is going. 50 Cent gonna be right at Drake neck. You see? So just enjoy the entertainment, guys. Work on yourself. We study these individuals because when you learn these individuals, when you learn how they move, you learn the mistakes they make, then you realize how the people that follow them, the people that put their all into these celebrities, this is how they act. The normal folks. This is exactly how the normal folks act. They do dumb shit just like this, guys. All right? Y'all wrap up, strap up, drink responsibly. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. On the bus, guys. Don't be late.
We about to get lit. Fill the room up with some teens. Wait.
And my friends, yeah, I keep my friends on my mind. I'm in love with 2 girls at one time, and they 10.
Hold on, Drake. What do you mean?
Hey, pop that shit. Baby, that pussy was so worth the wait.
Drake, what do you mean by that? I understand. You got 100 bands, you got a baby band, you got some bad friends. High school pics, you was even bad then. Wait, nah.
Yeah. And like guns with the ink in, getting under my skin. Pretty little young thing. Ooh. This shit feels like teenage fever. No, Drake, no. We could've waited. I wasn't rushing. Difference in ages. You're old enough, but you're still a baby. No.
I'm standing at the top, that's how I know you never seen the top. Sierra Canyon parking lot, looking like Magic City parking lot. Nope, that's just wrong.
What did I do to deserve you? Don't even know what I did. Been praying on this since a kid. No, Drake, no. I touched down in 86. Knew I was the man by the age of 6. I even fucked the girl I used to babysit. Wait, what?
Drake, Kendrick's released 3 diss tracks aimed at you. Which ones hurt your feelings the most?
Euphoria.
He's saying that you've hidden an 11-year-old daughter. Do you have any other kids we don't know about?
I do. 4.
4 kids. Is that a lot of child support?
I would say so, yes.
Kendrick's saying you're not black because you're Canadian. Do you still want to claim being black?
I actually am proud to say that I don't really drop the B word like in person.
You've been accused of having a BBL, using Ozempic. Have you ever thought about just hitting the gym?
That's a valid point.
So you did get a nose job?
Yeah.
Drake, are you going to address the Predator allegations on the diss track at all?
No.
Like, I heard you like him young.
Get out the way, man. Get out the way.
Okay. Get me out the way, homie. You a lame too. Hey Drake, you on the phone with an A minor. You dude.
Love you, bro.
I love you so much, man. I hope y'all stay safe. I hope I can come to your house soon, or you can come to my house soon.
Yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait. No doubt, we love you.
Man, I'm thinking about the event that happened over there. Let me tell you something. When the first dude stepped up to Rose, the little short fat one that looked like Bam Bam Bigelow from wrestling, when he stepped up, and then I squat down in his eyes and told him what I said. Basically, boy, if I hit you, I'm going to see everything you ate for the last 2 days. His balls dropped out of his ass. He never said another word. He never did nothing. He was a straight buster. Then the nigga behind him said, I know MMA. And then I got hit with a drink. I'm still convinced ain't no nigga punched me. Somebody said, Rose, the nigga tried to punch you. He hit you. I say, nah. He had to throw a drink, because throwing a drink would have been way more disrespectful than screaming, I know MMA! Man.
This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap! This what you fucking get for not checking in. Shout out boy Drizzy, eh? Triple G's, you know how we rock, slap, brat, clap!
I want to thank you. I want to take the time out to thank you for making me feel so at home.
Thank you!
Because some of y'all kick Rick ass, kick Rick Ross ass, right? So I want to thank you again for making me feel so at home.
One more. Fifth, right here. One more. Fifth, right here. One more.
11s, you know what it is, bro? Let's talk about it. I told you guys from the beginning of this Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef that 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar are going at it subtly. You know, they have like a Cold War going on. Kendrick Lamar has not been supported by 50 Cent at all during this beef. Every time Kendrick drops a song, 50 Cent downplays it. When he dropped Euphoria, 50 went on his Instagram and said, oh, the song is too long. Then Drake drops an 8-minute song and 50 Cent hypes it up. This whole thing I've been watching, and I've been like, even when Kendrick dropped yesterday, he dropped You Not Like Us. When he dropped You Not Like Us, I'm like, okay, that kind of reminds me of 50 Cent, You Not Like Me. You know, if you get shot and run to the cops, you're not like me. The title did, right? So I wanted to hear what he had to say. And 50 Cent actually didn't want to react to Kendrick dropping You Not Like Us or Kendrick dropping Meet the Grounds right after Drake dropped Family Matters. But he did react to Drake when Drake dropped. And if you guys weren't paying attention, go watch the video where where Drake dropped on Family Matters, where he's spinning the G-Unit piece in the beginning of the video. 50 actually posted this on his Instagram. He posted the part where Drake spins the G-Unit piece, and 50's response to that was, I told you niggas leave him alone. Now he's spinning on y'all. Everybody must die. Then 30 minutes later, Kendrick drops Meet the Grounds, and 50 don't respond to it. 50 went on his Instagram recently after all this and said, I'm behind over here. Kendrick done fired twice. I gotta really listen to this ish. Hip hop, we the culture. See, I don't like that, bro. And I hate to say it because I love 50 Cent. Personally, I love 50 Cent. He's posted me on his page. He shared me. He's always showed me love. But I got to keep it a beam, bro. This looks bad to me for 50. And the fans don't disagree with me. All the fans are pretty much saying the same things in his comments. You see people saying you weren't behind when you were D-Riding Drake, though. Kendrick did to Drake what you did to Ja Rule. It's over completely. Somebody said 50 is compromised. You know, somebody else said you not that far behind because soon as Drake dropped, you parade that nigga music on your page like you getting paid for it. And the 50 Cent, the G-Unit spinner chain, which is iconic to 50 Cent, being in Drake's video and 50 posting that and not posting Meet the Grounds right after. And I thought it was suspect too, bro. I can't even lie. So to me, it looks like 50 is compromised. 50 wants Drake to win really bad, but Kendrick is smoking Drake, bro. Kendrick is smoking Drake. He told y'all he was going to be smoking this on y'all top 5, and it seems like he's fulfilling that promise, bro. But to me, this was disappointing because, you know, I'm a huge 50 fan. I love 50. On a personal level, 50, like I said, has shared me to his page. I've always shown 50 love as a businessman and as an entertainer. You know, he's inspiring. But I'm going to call it straight down the middle, bro. He looked compromised. You know what I mean? So that's all I got for you guys. Urban Legend 11, you know what it is. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, bro. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you are laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make mockery and not to understand, is to make the same mistake yourself. Did you hear me?